And we are back with one awesome match of the World Championship 2023 of Combined Arms. Or our fork of Combined Arms, so to say. And here we have the blue player, Yes Wurst, against Sexy Sexman in the top left corner. This is a loser bracket match. I think Sexy Sexman is Lordesfairgenug, who lost in the semi-finals against Carl M. And is now playing against Yes Wurst, who also lost against Carl M, but then made his way through the loser bracket. He lost in the quarterfinals already, and then won against Xevo. So
Man,
now,
this KM must be an awesome player, huh?
yes, he's very strong. He's abusing Scrin, so Scrin must be nerfed continuously to keep him weak. Okay, so the factions are Market and Germany. So we have seen a lot of Germany in this tournament.
What's the strength of that faction?
Of Germany?
Mm-hmm.
Their main special unit is the tank destroyer. That's, well, a very strong tank destroyer. So deals a lot of damage to heavy vehicles, but is quite weak against everything else. Quite cheap to build, so you can pump out some. It falls down significantly in strength once you have point defense lasers. So this is usually not a late game unit. Only if your opponent does not have point defense laser and still heavy tanks. Like Mammoth MK2 could be a unit that is taken out by tank destroyers quite good. Then you have an interesting options between Prism Cannon and Prism Tanks. Because Germany has the Prism Tank and the Prism Cannon, which are the best options. Prism Cannon is nice because it's long range and anti-heavy, so similar to the tank destroyer, but as a energy weapon unit, so you cannot stop it with point defense laser and need reflector armor.
Mm-hmm.
So
any specificities on this particular map that need to be taken into account? So is any of the factions getting some undue advantages from the map? I mean, we see minerals all over the place basically, and we also see that the rush distance is quite considerable. So no quick rushes, but a lot of income.
Yes, I would agree. So the allies, they have the chrono miners in late game, which is an economy advantage, but on this map not so important because distance to fields is short. Yeah, so then they have the satellite, which allows them to unveil the map and see everything for a short duration. Also awesome. On this map, not bad, but also not insanely good, because it's easy to scout here, but often you have some stuff going on at the sides and like in the north here and on the south here, expanding.
How serious is that? How serious is that first push coming in?
It's just light tanks. It's not really dangerous, but I mean, yellow is pushing for it.
What is he trying to achieve? Take out some harvesters, or what's the strategic idea now?
Well, usually this player, Andy, or here he's called Yes Wurst, is known for insane economic scaling. So usually he's just going out for harvesters and insane amount of harvesters and just pumping out like crazy in the mid game. But that might be the reason why yellow is just anticipating that he's not going for any defenses and will just be surprised by a few tanks and a bit of infantry and then just take out like 3-4 harvesters. Because this is a catastrophe for a boomer, someone who just plays boom and expands the economy like crazy. But here, yellow forces are getting obliterated. Totally outnumbered.
Easy hold, huh?
Yeah. We already see the Prism tanks here, so he has decided for not going to the Prism Cannon, that's good against heavy tanks, but rather the Prism Tank, that's also good against infantry. And I think against not, it is the right decision, because infantry will always be a thing. The cyborgs are strong, and Prism tanks are a very good answer to cyborgs.
Was that a blind guess, or the result of some good scouting?
I think with Germany, it's just you have the tank destroyers, which are quite good against heavy tanks. It's a good combination, going for the prism tank, not the prism cannon. Because then, what do you do against infantry? You can go with crew launchers or artillery, but if he has point defense laser and cyborgs, you have a hard time. And prism tanks just take care of that. So I think it's a good decision here against not to go with this. Okay, now the yellow army is dangerous for the blue army. Yeah, but the prism tanks do a good job taking out infantry. So blue is pushing here. Yellow is shitting his pants, I guess. Here come flame tanks without upgrades. So they're not gonna work against tank destroyers.
It should be an easy prey, huh?
Yes, yes. Yellow army. Ah, okay. Here comes a flame tank from behind, but doesn't attack. Oh my god. Okay, at least one shot. Oh, this is not going well for yellow. The tank destroyers just make short notice of flame tanks. Yeah, I mean yellow's army is already destroyed, and it looks like blue is going to win this now. This is not looking good for yellow. Prism tanks just take down the obelisk. Infantry is coming in, but it's... Oh, here come scorpion tanks. This is the answer for the tank destroyers. I mean, both are quite good against each other, but the scorpion tanks have a good range. They have good burst damage. So in this matchup here, with the base defense also holding back infantry, scorpion tanks are nice. And now yeah, yellow might be able to stop this, but he's having hard time.
But there's not much backup coming up from the blue side, or is there?
Yeah, I agree.
Turn around, no?
If I guess blue was putting too much APM into this fight and not considering the economy, and
meanwhile yellow's expanding to the upper right.
Yes, I think yellow is just shitting his pants so much that he realized, oh my god, if this blue pressure keeps going on, and here these harvesters are attacked as well, this will not be easy. So he needs another point from where he can start mining.
I'd love to see an income graph now.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I should have opened this already. Yeah, yellow is falling down. This attack has just taken a toll on the economy of yellow, but we see blue here has also forgotten to keep it up. I think we see this fall down because of the longer distances, and the refineries are just now built on the front of the fields, and maybe also he was just income capped and did not build enough units. This might allow yellow a comeback. Okay, this
seems as if blue would scout soon. The surprise being prepared on the upper right.
I think blue scouting with a Conyard here, yeah. That's it's unusual scout unit. These Venoms here, they prey on these prism tanks. That's a great answer, because they do deal so much damage against light tanks, are so mobile. Maybe it's not smart from yellow to just tell him, hey, I'm gonna do that now. Okay, against a heavy tank like the scout tank, it's not a good idea. Oh, and he was shot down even.
So he's forcing out some anti-air now.
Yeah, but this the AA gun is not very expensive, so I think it was a bad play of yellow to just go there with a Venom and tell him. I mean, imagine if blue pushes and he has like 5 Venoms and then just takes out all the prism tanks, the most important part of his army. So he
blue seems to decide to go for.
Yeah, I mean blue. Yeah, blue has just seen this and there's no discussion about that. It's just expansion that's not going to be tolerated. Yellow is like, I'm not afraid. I was scouted at top, just get a few rocket launchers, but that's not going to be sufficient, I guess. maybe the OP launchers that are so hated in the community can turn the tide here. Yeah, blue should just focus in on the units and not attack the buildings. That's a grave mistake. There's no point in taking out the buildings. The units are easy targets, light armored. Yeah, but he's still making this. Didn't really matter what he targeted first. But now come the reinforcements, and they are now cyborgs. So he is in late game tech. That might change a little bit how yellow can push and put pressure on blue. We have now, I think, the chrono minus. So economy of blue is going to get up also. We can have a look at the army graph, I guess. Oh my god, blue is so ahead. We'll see if yellow can turn this economy into defense and save his ass or get a beating.
What are his options here? Well, a bit of air, yeah? That's a good idea.
Yeah, now it's happening what I just described. The Venoms just spray on the prison tanks. And this is just... he's just losing...
No anti-air anywhere close.
He's losing the important part of his army, and once the prison tanks are out, infantry can stop all of this stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the artillery not too bad against infantry, but the cyborgs for artillery, the cyborg's gonna make it. Yeah, he's taking out all the prison tanks, and also the artilleries are the next target of the Venoms once he realizes that he's shooting heavy tanks. Oh my god, there comes another group of reinforcements. Oh my god. Okay, blue is putting a lot of pressure on him, and now the prison tanks, they must focus infantry, not the harvesters. Oh my god.
It seems as if yellow is holding once again, no?
Yeah. The
Doing
rockets,
another miracle.
the rockets, they deal a lot of damage. But yeah, the yellow player is well known for this experience. Players keep saying that you always think you're gonna beat him and you're ahead, but then he always comes back. Yeah, he needs prism tanks against all this rocket infantry. The tank destroyers and the scout tanks, they cannot do much. Also, he needs point defense lasers on his unit. He has no point defense laser
against the rockets. Huh?
All these kinds of rockets that can just tags. They just tags every movement, every second they're not fighting and just moving. They put heavy tags on the units. Yeah, this. I mean, blue has almost killed nothing in this fight.
Curious to see the next update of the army graph, and I expect
blue will have a
deep,
horrible drop.
Roller coaster ride here. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Actually, yeah, this is happening as we speak.
But oh my god, what is he doing now? Infantry like crazy.
An infantry run.
This is a good decision. I mean,
a good recipe.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get them to the front, and the rockets won't do much against this rifled soldiers, but he needs also something in the mix that deals damage. The riflers alone not gonna make it, but just pump them in, why not?
Is he preparing a flank here, or?
I mean, the rocket guys, what is he preparing?
Is he preparing a flanking attack maneuver, or why does he disperse his troops?
I don't know.
Both to the left and as well to the right.
Yeah, the prison tanks here, they do a great job. Imagine he had some point defense lasers, this would go out totally different.
Sacrificed, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's not in late game with his units. They have no point defense lasers, he's just exacting the rocket hail. Also, his allies, he could have just 2-3 Aurora bombers, and they would just bomb the shit out of these so-called BDSM launchers. Oh, now come the flanking of the rifleman. Also, Scorpion tanks also suck against infantry. The problem is, the riflers come from behind and don't draw the fire. That's actually their job.
Mm-hmm. And it's not perfectly synchronized, huh?
Yeah. But it's okay. Now that everything's firing on the riflers, and now comes even a few of these IFVs are enough to take out these squishy launchers. But now he's withdrawing. Why is he doing that?
No, waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Earnings seem to be pretty equal now.
Yes, the army value is equal, but the quality of the yellow army is much better than all this crap in blue. I mean, this is so many riflemen, a few damage dealers, but in this matchup it's so important to build Aurora bombers because they take insane hits against these blobs of infantry. They take insane hits against the rocket launchers, and the Venoms can't do much against it. They will deliver their bomb. So you need like 20 Venoms to get an Aurora down before it can shoot. Okay. He also has a problem. He attack moves his units, and then the infantry fighting vehicles go first, and they are squishy against the rockets especially. He has now also cyborgs in the mix to counter the riflers, I guess, but the flame tanks might be the better ingredient here. But it's a good game. Oh, now come the units from another angle as well. But here blue has won the fight and is pushing in. This is not over, but the split of yellow is dangerous for yellow. It doesn't look like this army will achieve enough here to turn the tide.
Well, at least the construction post been taken out of the equation.
Okay, the flame tanks have now point defense lasers.
I'm still on hold here, huh?
And now this will change the outcome of the combat. Because now the tank destroyers cannot take out the flame tanks easily anymore. And they just flame down all this infantry. I think these flame tanks gonna change the game. Okay, the tank destroyers also have point defense laser now. That's a good decision.
Yeah, the artillery barrage. Wow, what was that?
Oh, that was a cluster missile. Pretty good hit.
Mm-hmm. Right in time.
Earnings are still on par. Now we have some frenzy on the infantry, but the artillery is mowing them down. And the chrono freeze. The artillery is actually a good decision in how he's playing them. They do their job. Oh, here the harvesters are caught off guard. That is very dangerous if he takes out a lot of harvesters.
Impact on the earning graph, yes.
Yeah. This is going to be expensive if this keeps going. This is always good, just to have a few units on the harvesters if the enemy is like this. Oh, he has given up. This was
brilliant game.
Not necessary here to give up at this point. It was. I don't think the game was concluded. I mean, he was trolling him at the front, but if he got Auroras, he would have been able to turn this around.
No, remarkable that he didn't seem to think of it.
Yeah.
Completely forgotten option.
I think he was totally locked into his idea of having a huge blob of army, pushing it into the enemy, which is the usual playstyle of him. But then allies is maybe not the best faction for it.
Which one would you recommend instead?
Soviets, if you just want to pump in a blob of units. It depends. If it should be ground units, then Soviets, yes. You can play GDI as well, but the Warthogs are also make a lot of sense, as we have seen in the other game.
Oh, very cool, very interesting, and also very informative game we saw today.
Yes. It was a good game, and I think we should be left with another one, or maybe two. We'll see. See you in the next game.